The development of Chinese embroidery and garment. Embroidery and textile production have a long and rich history in China. Let's explore the development of embroidery and textile production in China, and their contributions to Chinese art and culture. Early history. Embroidery and textile production have been important arts in China for thousands of years. Archaeological evidence suggests that embroidery and silk production were practiced in China as early as the Neolithic period, over 5,000 years ago. During the Shang dynasty, 1600 BCE to 1046 BCE, embroidery and textile production became highly sophisticated, with the development of new techniques and styles. Embroidery was used to decorate clothing, ceremonial objects, and household items, and played a significant role in the development of Chinese art and culture. Development in the Tang and Song dynasties. During the Tang dynasty, 618 CE to 907 CE, embroidery and textile production experienced a golden age. The dynasty was known for its highly sophisticated embroidery techniques, including the use of gold and silver thread and the development of new stitch patterns. During the Song dynasty, 960 CE to 1279 CE, embroidery and textile production continued to flourish. The dynasty was known for its delicate and intricate embroidery designs, which used a wide range of colors and materials. Contributions to Chinese art and culture. Embroidery and textile production have played a significant role in the development of Chinese art and culture. These arts have been used to decorate clothing, household items, and ceremonial objects, and have helped to establish a sense of cultural identity and aesthetic appreciation. Additionally, embroidery and textile production have helped to promote cross-cultural exchange and technological innovation. Chinese textiles were highly prized in other parts of Asia and Europe, and the development of new techniques and materials helped to establish China as a dominant cultural and economic power in the region. Contemporary embroidery and textile production. Today, embroidery and textile production continue to be important arts in China. Many traditional techniques and styles have been preserved and passed down through generations, while new techniques and materials have been developed to meet the needs of contemporary society. Contemporary embroidery and textile production in China are characterized by a fusion of traditional and modern styles, with artists and designers using a wide range of techniques and materials to create innovative and beautiful works of art. Ming and Qing dynasties. During the Ming dynasty, 1368 to 1644, and Qing dynasty, 1644 to 1912, embroidery and textile production continued to be highly valued arts in China. The Ming dynasty was known for its rich and colorful embroidery designs, which were used to decorate clothing, accessories, and household items. The Qing dynasty was known for its intricate and delicate embroidery designs, which were highly prized by the imperial court and aristocracy. The dynasty also developed new techniques for textile production, including the use of cotton and wool, which helped to make textiles more accessible to the general population. Revival in the 20th century. In the early 20th century, there was a revival of interest in embroidery and textile production in China. The May 4th movement, a cultural and political movement that emerged in the wake of the fall of the Qing dynasty, helped to promote traditional Chinese arts and culture, including embroidery and textile production. Artists and designers began to experiment with new techniques and materials, incorporating elements of Western art and design into traditional Chinese styles. Embroidery and textile production were used to create works of art, as well as practical items such as clothing, accessories, and home furnishings. Today, embroidery and textile production continue to be important arts in China. Traditional techniques and styles have been preserved and passed down through generations, while new techniques and materials have been developed to meet the needs of contemporary society. Embroidery and textile production are used to create a wide range of items, from decorative art pieces to practical clothing and accessories. Contemporary artists and designers continue to experiment with new techniques and materials, incorporating elements of traditional Chinese art and design into modern styles. Regional variations. Embroidery and textile production in China vary significantly by region, with each area having its own unique styles and techniques. For example, Suzhou embroidery is known for its intricate and delicate designs, while Hunan embroidery is known for its bold and colorful designs. Many regions have developed their own unique materials and techniques for embroidery and textile production. For example, the Zhuang ethnic minority in Guangxi province has developed a technique for weaving brocade using a bamboo loom, while the Miao ethnic minority in Guizhou province is known for its intricate embroidery designs using silk thread. International influence. Chinese embroidery and textile production have had a significant influence on textile arts around the world. Chinese silk was highly prized in ancient Rome and Greece, and Chinese embroidery designs were highly influential in Europe during the Renaissance. Today, Chinese embroidery and textile production continue to be highly valued around the world. Chinese silk is used to create high-end fashion items, while Chinese embroidery designs are used in fashion and home decor. Preservation and promotion. In recent years, there has been a renewed interest in preserving and promoting traditional Chinese embroidery and textile production. The Chinese government has established programs to train young artists and designers in traditional techniques, and to promote the arts both domestically and internationally. Many museums and cultural institutions in China have also established exhibitions and programs to showcase traditional Chinese embroidery and textile production, and to promote cross-cultural exchange and appreciation of the arts. Sustainable practices. Traditional Chinese embroidery and textile production has a long history of using sustainable practices. For example, silk production traditionally used natural dyes made from plants, and the production process was carefully controlled to minimize waste. Today, there is a renewed interest in sustainable practices in Chinese embroidery and textile production. Many artists and designers are using eco-friendly materials and natural dyes, and are implementing sustainable production processes to minimize waste and pollution. Shanghai Dynasty and its development in Chinese history. The Shang Dynasty was the second dynasty of ancient China, ruling from around 1600 BCE to 1046 BCE. Let's explore the development of the Shang Dynasty and its significant contributions to Chinese history. Early history. The Shang Dynasty emerged in the Yellow River Valley of China, following the decline of the Xia Dynasty. The Shang Dynasty was characterized by a highly centralized government, with a king serving as the head of state and the military. The dynasty was known for its sophisticated bronze casting techniques, which were used to create a wide range of ritual objects, weapons, and vessels. The dynasty also had a highly developed system of writing, using oracle bones to record important events and religious ceremonies. Religion and culture. The Shang Dynasty was known for its complex religious and cultural practices. The dynasty practiced ancestor worship, and believed that the spirits of ancestors could influence the lives of their descendants. The dynasty also had a highly developed system of divination, using oracle bones to predict the future and make important decisions. The Shang dynasty was also known for its art and music, with many objects decorated with intricate designs and patterns. Economy and trade. The Shang dynasty was a highly developed agricultural society, with rice and millet being the main crops. The dynasty also had a well-developed system of trade, with goods such as silk, jade, and bronze being traded both within China and with neighboring regions. The dynasty also had a complex system of taxes and labor, with farmers and craftsmen required to provide tribute to the king in the form of goods and labor. Contributions to Chinese history. The Shang dynasty made significant contributions to Chinese history, particularly in the areas of technology, religion, and culture. The dynasty's sophisticated bronze casting techniques helped to establish China as a major center of metallurgy, and pave the way for future advancements in technology. The dynasty's religious and cultural practices helped to establish a sense of identity and community among the Chinese people, and played a significant role in the development of Chinese culture and society. Additionally, the dynasty's emphasis on trade and commerce helped to promote economic exchange and cultural exchange with neighboring regions. Government and society. The Shang dynasty was a highly centralized government, with the king serving as the head of state and the military. The dynasty was divided into a hierarchy of social classes, with the ruling class at the top, followed by artisans and farmers, and slaves at the bottom. The dynasty had a complex system of laws and regulations, with punishments ranging from fines to imprisonment and even death. The dynasty also had a well-developed system of diplomacy and alliances, with neighboring regions and tribes. Military and warfare. The Shang dynasty was marked by frequent warfare, with the dynasty engaging in battles with neighboring tribes and regions. The dynasty had a well-developed military, with chariots and bronze weapons being used in battle. The dynasty also had a system of fortifications and walls, which were used to protect cities and important sites. The dynasty's military prowess helped to establish China as a dominant military power in East Asia, and paved the way for future advancements in military technology and strategy. Legacy and influence. The Shang dynasty had a significant impact on Chinese history and culture, with many of its practices and traditions continuing to influence modern Chinese society. The dynasty's sophisticated bronze casting techniques and oracle bone writing system helped to establish China as a major center of technology and culture. The dynasty's religious and cultural practices, such as ancestor worship and divination, continue to play an important role in Chinese culture and society. Additionally, the dynasty's emphasis on trade and commerce helped to promote economic exchange and cultural exchange with neighboring regions, laying the foundation for future developments in trade and diplomacy. Art and architecture. The Shang dynasty was known for its sophisticated art and architecture. The dynasty's bronze casting techniques were used to create a wide range of ritual objects, such as wine vessels, bells, and cauldrons. These objects were often decorated with intricate designs and patterns, and were used in religious ceremonies and other important events. The dynasty's architecture was also highly developed, with large palaces and tombs being built for the ruling class. The tombs were often filled with valuable objects, such as jade ornaments, silk textiles, and bronze weapons, and were decorated with intricate carvings and paintings. Science and technology. The Shang dynasty made significant advancements in science and technology, particularly in the areas of metallurgy and agriculture. The dynasty's bronze casting techniques helped to establish China as a major center of metallurgy, and paved the way for future advancements in technology. The dynasty also made significant advancements in agriculture, developing new techniques for irrigation and land management. The dynasty's emphasis on agriculture helped to establish China as a highly developed agricultural society, and paved the way for future advancements in farming technology. Language and writing. The Shang dynasty had a highly developed system of writing, using oracle bones to record important events and religious ceremonies. The oracle bones were inscribed with characters representing the questions being asked, and were then heated until they cracked. The cracks were then interpreted as answers to the questions. The dynasty's writing system helped to establish a sense of cultural identity and communication among the Chinese people, and paved the way for future advancements in writing and literature. Gender roles and family life. The Shang dynasty had a patriarchal society, with men holding most of the power and authority. Women were expected to fulfill domestic roles, such as managing the household and raising children. However, some women held positions of power and influence in the dynasty. For example, Lady Fu Hao was a prominent military leader and priestess, and played a significant role in Shang dynasty politics and religion. The dynasty also placed a strong emphasis on family life, with ancestor worship and filial piety being highly valued. The development of Chinese handicrafts and handicraft industry. Handicrafts have been an important part of Chinese culture for thousands of years, with a rich history of traditional techniques and artistry. Let's explore the development of handicrafts and the handicraft industry in China. Traditional handicrafts. China has a long history of traditional handicrafts, with many techniques and art forms dating back centuries. Some of the most well-known Chinese handicrafts include porcelain, silk embroidery, paper cutting, and calligraphy. These handicrafts were often produced by skilled artisans, who passed down their techniques and knowledge from generation to generation. Many of these handicrafts were also closely tied to Chinese culture and religion, with religious icons and symbols often being incorporated into the designs. Industrialization and modernization. In the 20th century, China began to industrialize and modernize, leading to significant changes in the handicraft industry. Many traditional handicrafts were replaced by mass-produced goods, as factories and machines became more common. However, there was also a push to preserve and promote traditional handicrafts, with many artisans and organizations working to preserve traditional techniques and promote the value of handmade goods. In recent years, there has been a resurgence of interest in traditional handicrafts as consumers seek out unique and authentic products. This has led to a renewed appreciation for traditional techniques and an increase in demand for handmade goods. Government support and promotion. The Chinese government has also played a role in promoting and supporting the handicraft industry. The government has established policies and programs to support the development of handicrafts, including funding for research and development, and training programs for artisans. In addition, the government has promoted the export of Chinese handicrafts, recognizing the economic and cultural value of these products in the global market. Innovation and technology. While traditional techniques remain an important part of the handicraft industry in China, there has also been innovation and experimentation with new materials and technologies. For example, designers have used 3D printing technology to create intricate jewelry and accessories, and have incorporated LED lights into traditional paper lanterns. In addition, there has been a focus on sustainable and eco-friendly materials and practices, with many artisans using recycled or natural materials in their work. International recognition and influence. Chinese handicrafts have gained international recognition and influence, with many traditional techniques and designs inspiring artists and designers around the world. For example, Chinese silk embroidery and porcelain have been used in high fashion and luxury design. While Chinese paper cutting and calligraphy have been incorporated into graphic design and advertising. The demand for Chinese handicrafts has also increased in the global market, with China becoming a major exporter of handmade goods. This has led to opportunities for international collaboration and exchange in the handicraft industry. Challenges and opportunities. While there are many opportunities for growth and innovation in the handicraft industry in China, there are also challenges that need to be addressed. For example, there is a need to preserve traditional techniques and knowledge, as well as to promote education and training for young artisans. In addition, there are issues related to intellectual property and copyright infringement, with some Chinese handicrafts being copied and sold without permission. The industry must work to protect the intellectual property rights of artisans and designers, while also promoting fair trade practices and ethical production methods. Tourism and cultural heritage. The handicraft industry in China has played an important role in promoting tourism and preserving cultural heritage. Many traditional handicrafts are closely tied to Chinese culture and history, and are considered important cultural heritage artifacts. As a result, many artisans and organizations have worked to preserve and promote traditional handicrafts as a way of promoting Chinese culture and history to tourists and visitors. This has led to the development of cultural tourism and the creation of handicraft museums and exhibitions. In addition, the handicraft industry has provided opportunities for local economic development in rural areas, where traditional handicrafts are often produced. This has helped to promote sustainable rural development and alleviate poverty in these areas. Collaboration and exchange. The handicraft industry in China has also provided opportunities for collaboration and exchange both within China and with other countries. Many artisans and organizations have worked to promote cultural exchange and cooperation through programs such as artist residencies and workshops. In addition, there has been collaboration between Chinese artisans and designers and international brands and companies, leading to the development of new products and designs that combine traditional techniques with modern aesthetics. Education and training. There is a growing emphasis on education and training in the handicraft industry in China as artisans and organizations work to promote and preserve traditional techniques and knowledge. Many schools and institutes offer training programs and courses in traditional handicrafts, providing opportunities for young people to learn these skills and carry on the legacy of traditional crafts. In addition, there are programs and initiatives that focus on promoting entrepreneurship and innovation in the handicraft industry, providing opportunities for artisans to develop new products and business models that combine tradition with innovation. E-commerce and online platforms. The rise of e-commerce and online platforms has had a significant impact on the handicraft industry in China. Many artisans and organizations have turned to online platforms to sell their products and reach a wider audience. These online platforms have provided opportunities for small-scale artisans to sell their products directly to consumers, without the need for a middleman. In addition, these platforms have helped to promote the value of handmade goods and traditional handicrafts to a global audience. However, there are also challenges related to counterfeit products and intellectual property infringement on these platforms. The industry must work to protect the intellectual property rights of artisans and designers, while also promoting fair trade practices and ethical production methods. Urbanization and changing demographics. Urbanization and changing demographics have also had an impact on the handicraft industry in China. The Qing dynasty and its contribution to Chinese culture. The Sui dynasty, 581 to 618 AD, was a relatively short-lived dynasty in Chinese history, but it left a significant impact on Chinese culture. During its brief reign, the Sui dynasty saw a number of important developments in art, literature, and architecture that would go on to influence Chinese culture for centuries to come. One of the most notable contributions of the Sui dynasty was the Grand Canal, a massive engineering project that connected the Yellow River in the north to the Yangtze River in the south. This canal facilitated transportation and communication between the two regions, which were previously isolated from each other. The Grand Canal also served as an important economic lifeline, allowing goods and resources to be transported more efficiently throughout the empire. Another important contribution of the Sui dynasty was the development of the civil service examination system, which was used to select officials and bureaucrats based on their knowledge and skills rather than their social status. This system helped to promote meritocracy in China and allowed for greater social mobility. It also helped to ensure that the most qualified individuals were chosen to serve in government positions, which contributed to the stability and prosperity of the empire. In the arts, the Sui dynasty saw the emergence of new styles and forms of painting, calligraphy, and sculpture. The dynasty also saw the development of new musical instruments and styles of music, such as the pipa, a four-string lute. The Sui dynasty also saw an increase in the production of literature, including poetry, historical works, and philosophical texts. The Sui dynasty also had a significant impact on Chinese architecture. One of the most notable examples is the construction of the Grand Buddha at Lashan, a massive stone statue of the Buddha that was carved into the side of a mountain. This statue is still considered one of the greatest works of Chinese sculpture and is a popular tourist attraction today. In conclusion, the Sui dynasty may have been short-lived, but its contributions to Chinese culture were lasting. From the Grand Canal to the civil service examination system, the arts, and architecture, the Sui dynasty left a legacy that would shape Chinese culture for centuries to come. The Sui dynasty was also known for its military campaigns that helped to reunify China after centuries of division and fragmentation. One of the most significant military achievements of the Sui dynasty was the conquest of Chen, a powerful kingdom in the south. This victory allowed the Sui dynasty to reunify China and establish its capital in Chang'an, which became one of the most cosmopolitan cities in the world at the time. Under the Sui dynasty, Buddhism also experienced a revival in China. The dynasty sponsored the construction of many Buddhist temples and monasteries, including the famous Kaiyuan Temple in Chang'an. This temple became a hub for Buddhist learning and practice, attracting monks and scholars from all over China and beyond. The Sui dynasty also saw the development of new technologies, such as the printing press, which allowed for the mass production of books and other written materials. This led to an increase in literacy and the spread of knowledge throughout the empire. The Sui dynasty also saw advances in metallurgy, which allowed for the production of high-quality weapons and tools. Unfortunately, the Sui dynasty was plagued by internal strife and external threats, which ultimately led to its downfall. The construction of the Grand Canal and other massive public works projects had drained the empire's resources and created widespread discontent among the populace. The dynasty was also constantly at war with its neighbors, including the Goguryeo kingdom in Korea, which eventually led to the demise of the dynasty. Despite its relatively short reign, the Sui dynasty left a profound impact on Chinese history and culture. Its contributions in the areas of engineering, literature, art, religion, and technology helped to shape China's identity and influence its development for centuries to come. The Sui dynasty also had a significant impact on the development of Chinese cuisine. During this period, the art of cooking and food preparation reached new heights of sophistication. The Sui emperors were known for their lavish banquets, which featured a wide variety of dishes prepared by highly skilled chefs. Many of the dishes and culinary techniques developed during the Sui dynasty continue to be popular in China today. Another notable achievement of the Sui dynasty was the establishment of a standardized system of weights and measures. This system helped to promote trade and commerce within the empire by ensuring that goods and resources were accurately measured and valued. The Sui dynasty also saw the emergence of new forms of entertainment, such as the performing arts. The dynasty sponsored the construction of many theaters and performance halls, where musicians, actors, and dancers could showcase their talents. These performances helped to promote cultural exchange and artistic innovation in China. In addition, the Sui dynasty saw the spread of Confucianism as the dominant philosophy and moral code in China. Confucianism emphasizes the importance of social harmony and order, and the Sui emperors used it as a tool to promote stability and unity within the empire. Despite its many achievements, the Sui dynasty was also marked by significant social and economic inequality. The ruling class enjoyed great wealth and power, while the common people struggled to make ends meet. This inequality contributed to widespread social unrest and ultimately led to the downfall of the dynasty. The Sui dynasty was a period of significant cultural, economic, and technological development in China. Its contributions in the areas of cuisine, entertainment, philosophy, and standardization continue to influence Chinese culture today. However, the dynasty's legacy is also marked by social and economic inequality, which serves as a reminder of the challenges and complexities of governance in ancient China. The Sui dynasty also made significant contributions to the development of Chinese medicine. During this period, many new medical texts were written, and the study of acupuncture and herbal medicine reached new heights of sophistication. The dynasty sponsored the construction of many hospitals and clinics, and medical professionals were highly respected members of society. Another important development during the Sui dynasty was the expansion of China's borders. The dynasty launched several successful military campaigns against neighboring states, including the Turkic Khaganate and the Eastern Tuju. These campaigns helped to establish China as a regional superpower and pave the way for the expansion of Chinese influence in Central Asia. The Sui dynasty also saw the development of new forms of literature, including the novel. One of the most famous works from this period is Journey to the West, a fantastical tale of a monk's journey to India to retrieve Buddhist scriptures. This novel has become a classic of Chinese literature and has inspired numerous adaptations in film, television, and theater. Finally, the Sui dynasty also made important contributions to the development of Chinese art. The dynasty saw the emergence of new styles and techniques in painting, sculpture, and ceramics. One notable example is the Sankai pottery, which features brightly colored glazes and intricate designs. The development of China's automobile and motorcycle industry. China's automotive industry has undergone a rapid transformation over the past few decades. From a relatively small player in the global market, China has become the world's largest producer and consumer of automobiles and motorcycles. The development of China's automotive industry can be traced back to the 1950s, when the government began investing in the production of military vehicles. However, it wasn't until the 1980s that China's automotive industry began to take off, with the establishment of joint ventures between Chinese and foreign companies. One of the key factors driving the growth of China's automotive industry has been the country's large and rapidly growing middle class. As incomes have risen, more and more Chinese consumers have been able to afford cars and motorcycles. This has created a huge demand for vehicles, which has in turn driven the growth of China's automotive industry. Another factor driving the growth of China's automotive industry has been the government's support for the sector. The government has provided subsidies and tax incentives to encourage the production and purchase of vehicles, as well as investing in research and development to improve the industry's competitiveness. As a result of these factors, China's automotive industry has grown at an impressive pace. In 2020, China produced over 25 million automobiles, making it the world's largest producer of cars. China's automotive industry also produces over 30 million motorcycles each year, making it the world's largest producer of motorcycles. China's automotive industry has also become an important player in the global market. Chinese automakers such as Geely, BYD, and Changan have become major players in the international market, and Chinese automobiles and motorcycles are now sold in countries around the world. Despite its rapid growth, China's automotive industry faces a number of challenges. One of the biggest challenges is the issue of environmental sustainability. The rapid growth of China's automotive industry has led to increased pollution and greenhouse gas emissions, which have had a significant impact on the environment. To address these challenges, the Chinese government has implemented a number of policies aimed at promoting the production and use of electric vehicles. The government has provided subsidies for the production and purchase of electric vehicles, and has invested in the development of charging infrastructure to support their use. The development of China's automotive industry has been a remarkable success story. From a small player in the global market, China has become the world's largest producer and consumer of automobiles and motorcycles. However, the industry also faces significant challenges, particularly in the area of environmental sustainability. As China continues to develop its automotive industry, it will need to balance growth with environmental responsibility to ensure a sustainable future. The development of China's automotive industry has also led to significant advancements in technology. Chinese automakers have invested heavily in research and development to improve the safety, efficiency, and performance of their vehicles. One area where Chinese automakers have made significant progress is in electric vehicle technology. Chinese electric vehicle manufacturers such as NIO, Spang, and Li Auto have developed innovative electric vehicles. With longer ranges and faster charging times than many of their international competitors. In addition to electric vehicles, Chinese automakers have also made significant investments in other advanced technologies, such as autonomous driving and connected vehicles. Many Chinese automakers are partnering with technology companies to develop self-driving cars and other advanced driver assistance systems. The growth of China's automotive industry has also had a significant impact on the country's economy. The industry has created millions of jobs and has become a major contributor to China's GDP. In addition, the industry has spurred the development of related industries, such as steel and rubber production. However, the growth of China's automotive industry has also led to concerns about overcapacity and competition. The industry has become highly competitive, with many domestic and international players vying for market share. This has led to overproduction and a surplus of vehicles, which has put pressure on prices and profitability. To address these challenges, the Chinese government has implemented policies to encourage consolidation and streamline the industry. The government has also encouraged companies to focus on developing high-quality vehicles with advanced technologies, rather than competing solely on price. The development of China's automotive industry has been a remarkable success story, driven by rising incomes, government support, and technological advancements. The industry has become a major player in the global market, and has created significant economic benefits for China. However, the industry also faces challenges, such as environmental sustainability and overcapacity, which will need to be addressed in order to ensure long-term success. The growth of China's automotive industry has also had a significant impact on the country's transportation infrastructure. As more and more Chinese consumers have purchased cars and motorcycles, the demand for roads and highways has increased significantly. To meet this demand, the Chinese government has invested heavily in transportation infrastructure, including the construction of new highways, bridges, and tunnels. The government has also invested in public transportation systems, such as high-speed rail and urban metro systems, to help reduce congestion and improve mobility. The growth of China's automotive industry has also had an impact on the country's energy consumption. As the number of vehicles on the road has increased, so too has the demand for oil and other fossil fuels. This has led the Chinese government to explore alternative energy sources, such as natural gas and renewable energy, in order to reduce dependence on imported oil. Another important impact of the growth of China's automotive industry has been on urbanization. As more and more Chinese consumers have purchased cars and motorcycles, the demand for housing and commercial space has increased in urban areas. This has led to significant development and construction in cities across China, as developers rush to meet the demand for new housing and commercial space. Finally, the growth of China's automotive industry has had an impact on Chinese culture and society. The car has become a symbol of status and wealth in China, and car ownership is seen as a sign of success. This has led to changes in social behavior, with more Chinese consumers opting to drive rather than walk or use public transportation. The growth of China's automotive industry has had a significant impact on the country's economy, infrastructure, energy consumption, urbanization, and culture. While the industry has brought many benefits to China, it also faces significant challenges, such as environmental sustainability and overcapacity. As China continues to develop its automotive industry, it will need to balance growth with responsibility to ensure long-term success. The growth of China's automotive industry has also had an impact on global trade. China has become a major exporter of automobiles and motorcycles, with many Chinese automakers establishing production facilities overseas. The Song dynasty and its contribution to China's economy and culture. The Song dynasty, which lasted from 960 to 1279, was a period of great change and innovation in China. During this time, the country underwent significant developments in areas such as agriculture, commerce, and culture, laying the foundation for many of the achievements that China would go on to make in subsequent centuries. One of the key contributions of the Song dynasty was in the area of agriculture. The Song government invested heavily in agricultural technology and infrastructure, leading to significant improvements in crop yields and food production. The development of new irrigation systems, such as the Dujiangyan irrigation system, helped to improve water management and increase agricultural productivity. In addition to agriculture, the Song dynasty also made significant contributions to commerce and trade. The Song government encouraged the development of markets and trade networks, leading to the growth of a vibrant merchant class. The development of paper money and the use of credit helped to facilitate trade and commerce, making it easier for merchants to conduct business across long distances. The Song dynasty also made important contributions to China's cultural heritage. During this period, Chinese literature, art, and philosophy flourished, with many of the country's greatest works of literature and art being produced during the Song dynasty. The development of printing technology also helped to spread knowledge and ideas more widely, contributing to the growth of a literate and educated society. Another important contribution of the Song dynasty was in the area of technology and innovation. During this period, Chinese inventors and scientists made significant strides in areas such as astronomy, mathematics, and medicine. The invention of gunpowder and the development of printing technology were two of the most important technological innovations of the Song dynasty, and they would go on to have a profound impact on world history. In addition to these contributions, the Song dynasty also had a significant impact on China's political and social institutions. The development of a centralized bureaucracy and the promotion of civil service exams helped to create a more meritocratic society, where individuals were selected for positions based on their abilities rather than their social status. This helped to promote social mobility and create a more stable and efficient government. The Song dynasty was a period of great innovation and achievement in China's history. Its contributions to agriculture, commerce, culture, technology, and social and political institutions laid the foundation for many of the achievements that China would go on to make in subsequent centuries. The legacy of the Song dynasty continues to be felt in China and around the world today, serving as a testament to the enduring contributions of this important period in Chinese history. Another important contribution of the Song dynasty was in the area of maritime trade and exploration. During this period, China's navy became one of the most powerful in the world, and Chinese sailors and merchants began to explore and trade with countries throughout Southeast Asia, India, and the Middle East. The development of maritime trade helped to promote economic growth and cultural exchange, as Chinese merchants brought goods and ideas back to China from other countries. The Song dynasty also established diplomatic relations with many foreign countries, helping to foster peaceful relations and promote cultural exchange. In addition to its contributions to trade and exploration, the Song dynasty also made important contributions to Chinese medicine. During this period, Chinese doctors and scholars developed new theories and treatment methods, such as acupuncture and herbal medicine, which are still widely used today. The Song dynasty also had a significant impact on Chinese art and architecture. During this period, Chinese artists and architects developed new styles and techniques, such as the use of glazed porcelain and the construction of multi-story buildings. These innovations helped to create some of the most beautiful and distinctive works of art and architecture in Chinese history. Finally, the Song dynasty also had a profound impact on Chinese cuisine. During this period, Chinese chefs developed new techniques and recipes, creating some of the most famous and beloved dishes in Chinese cuisine, such as Peking duck and dim sum. The Song dynasty was a period of great innovation and achievement in many areas of Chinese life, including agriculture, commerce, culture, technology, social institutions, maritime trade and exploration, medicine, art and architecture, and cuisine. The legacy of the Song dynasty continues to be felt in China and around the world today, serving as a testament to the enduring contributions of this important period in Chinese history. The legacy of the Song dynasty continues to be felt in China and around the world today, serving as a testament to the enduring contributions of this important period in Chinese history. The Song dynasty also had a significant impact on the development of education in China. During this period, the government established a system of schools and academies, which helped to promote literacy and education throughout the country. The civil service exams, which were established during this period, also helped to create a more educated and knowledgeable ruling class, which in turn helped to promote stability and efficiency in government. The Song dynasty also made significant advancements in the field of astronomy. Chinese astronomers developed new methods for observing the stars and planets, and made important discoveries about the movement and nature of celestial bodies. This knowledge helped to promote the development of calendars and timekeeping, which were essential for agriculture, commerce, and other areas of daily life. In addition to its contributions to education and astronomy, the Song dynasty also had a significant impact on Chinese religion and philosophy. During this period, Chinese scholars and philosophers developed new ideas and theories, such as Neo-Confucianism, which helped to shape Chinese thought and culture for centuries to come. During this period, Chinese scholars and philosophers developed new ideas and theories, such as Neo-Confucianism, which helped to shape Chinese thought and culture for centuries to come. Finally, the Song dynasty also made important contributions to military technology and strategy. During this period, Chinese generals and engineers developed new weapons and tactics, such as the use of gunpowder and the construction of fortified walls and towers. These innovations helped to make China's army one of the most formidable in the world, and helped to ensure the country's security and independence. The Song dynasty was a period of great innovation and achievement in many areas of Chinese life, including education, astronomy, religion and philosophy, military technology and strategy, and many others. The legacy of the Song dynasty continues to be felt in China and around the world today, serving as a testament to the enduring contributions of this important period in Chinese history. The Song dynasty also made significant contributions to the development of Chinese literature. During this period, Chinese writers and poets produced some of the most famous and enduring works of Chinese literature, such as The Dream of the Red Chamber, Journey to the West, and The Water Margin. These works helped to shape Chinese literature and culture, and continue to be read and enjoyed today. The development process of China's electronics and telecommunications industry. Over the past few decades, China has emerged as a global leader in the electronics and telecommunications industry. The country's rapid economic growth, large population, and skilled workforce have helped to create a thriving industry, with many of the world's largest electronics and telecommunications companies now based in China. The development of China's electronics and telecommunications industry began in the 1980s, when the government began to liberalize the economy and encourage foreign investment. This created a favorable environment for the development of the industry, as foreign companies began to invest in China and establish production facilities and research centers. As the industry grew, Chinese companies began to emerge as major players in the global market. Companies such as Huawei, STA, and Lenovo have become household names in the electronics and telecommunications industry, with a significant presence in markets around the world. These companies have been able to compete effectively with established players from Europe, Japan, and the United States. Due to their low cost of production, skilled workforce, and ability to innovate quickly. One of the key factors driving the growth of China's electronics and telecommunications industry has been the country's large and growing consumer market. China has the world's largest population, and as its economy has grown, so too has its middle class. This has created a huge demand for electronic devices and telecommunications services, providing a major opportunity for domestic and foreign companies alike. Another important factor driving the growth of China's electronics and telecommunications industry has been the government's support for the industry. The government has provided significant funding for research and development, as well as tax incentives and other forms of support for domestic companies. This has helped to create a favorable environment for the industry to thrive, and has encouraged innovation and the development of new technologies. The development of China's electronics and telecommunications industry has had a significant impact on the country's economy and society. The industry has created millions of jobs, both directly and indirectly, and has contributed significantly to economic growth and development. It has also helped to improve the quality of life for many Chinese people by providing access to new technologies and services. However, the growth of China's electronics and telecommunications industry has also raised concerns about intellectual property theft and unfair trade practices. Some foreign companies have accused Chinese companies of stealing their intellectual property and engaging in unfair trade practices, such as dumping products on foreign markets at below market prices. To address these concerns, the Chinese government has implemented policies aimed at protecting intellectual property and promoting fair trade practices. The government has also encouraged Chinese companies to focus on developing their own intellectual property and brands, rather than relying on foreign technology and designs. In recent years, China's electronics and telecommunications industry has continued to evolve and expand, with a growing emphasis on innovation and technological development. The government has set ambitious targets for the industry, aiming to transform China into a global leader in areas such as 5G technology, artificial intelligence, and the Internet of Things, IoT. To achieve these goals, the Chinese government has implemented a range of policies aimed at promoting innovation and technological development. These policies include increased funding for research and development, the establishment of innovation centers and technology parks, and incentives for companies to invest in new technologies and products. One area where China has made significant strides is in the development of 5G technology. Chinese companies such as Huawei and STA have been at the forefront of 5G development, and have secured contracts to build 5G networks in countries around the world. China is also home to the world's largest 5G network, with over 700,000 5G base stations in operation as of 2021. Another area where China has made significant progress is in the development of artificial intelligence, AI. Chinese companies such as Baidu, Alibaba, and Tencent have been investing heavily in AI research and development, and China has become a major player in the global AI industry. The government has also established a national AI development plan, aimed at promoting the development of AI technologies and applications across a range of industries. In addition to 5G and AI, China's electronics and telecommunications industry is also making significant progress in the development of the Internet of Things, IoT. The government has identified IoT as a key area for future growth, and has set targets for the development of IoT technologies and applications. Chinese companies are investing heavily in the development of IoT devices and services, with a focus on areas such as smart homes, smart cities, and industrial automation. Overall, the development of China's electronics and telecommunications industry has been a remarkable success story. driven by a combination of favorable economic conditions, government support, and a focus on innovation and technological development. As China continues to invest in new technologies and products, the industry is likely to play an increasingly important role in the country's economic development and global competitiveness. One area where China's electronics and telecommunications industry is also making significant progress is in the development of electric vehicles, EVs. The Chinese government has set ambitious targets for the development and adoption of EVs, with the aim of becoming a global leader in the production and sale of electric cars. Chinese EV manufacturers such as BYD, NIO, and Speng have been making significant strides in the development of EVs, with a focus on producing affordable, high-quality electric cars for the domestic and international markets. China is now the world's largest market for EVs, with over 1.3 million electric cars sold in 2020. To support the development of the EV industry, the Chinese government has implemented a range of policies, including subsidies for the purchase of EVs, tax incentives for EV manufacturers, and investment in the development of charging infrastructure. These policies have helped to create a favorable environment for the development of the EV industry, and have encouraged companies to invest in new technologies and products. Another area where China's electronics and telecommunications industry is making significant progress is in the development of renewable energy technologies. China is now the world's largest producer of solar panels and wind turbines, and is investing heavily in the development of other renewable energy technologies such as geothermal, hydropower, and biomass. Chinese companies such as Trina Solar, Jinko Solar, and Longyi Solar are now among the largest solar panel manufacturers in the world, and are helping to drive down the cost of solar energy. China is also home to the world's largest wind power market, with a rapidly expanding fleet of wind turbines that are helping to reduce the country's reliance on fossil fuels. Overall, the development of China's electronics and telecommunications industry has had a significant impact on the country's economic development and global competitiveness. As the industry continues to evolve and expand, it is likely to play an increasingly important role in shaping the future of China and the world. One of the key challenges facing China's electronics and telecommunications industry is the need to balance growth with sustainability and environmental responsibility. The industry is a major consumer of energy and resources, and has the potential to generate significant environmental impacts such as greenhouse gas emissions, waste generation, and water pollution. To address these challenges, the Chinese government has implemented a range of policies aimed at promoting sustainable development in the industry. These policies include regulations on energy efficiency, waste management, and pollution control, as well as incentives for companies to adopt more sustainable practices and technologies. For example, the government has established energy efficiency standards for electronic products, and provides incentives for companies to produce more energy-efficient devices.